can show you what love's supposed to feel like. I can show you, yeah, I can show you, yeah. You're the light inside of me every night. Chasing dreams, ain't got time to make 'em see what we believe, you and me, yeah. You're the light inside of me every night. Chasing dreams, ain't got time to make 'em see what we believe, you and me, yeah. You're the light inside of me every night. Chasing dreams, ain't got time to make 'em see.
Hello, and welcome back to another stream. The debrief stream, actually. First stream of the map building after we launched the State of Anarchy on Saturday. So, how are you? How is everyone? Hello, Spinner. It is wonderful to have you here as per usual. It is a crazy, crazy day. All I can say is it went... to be honest, I don't know what I expected, but it went better than expected. Did you manage to catch it, Spinner? For those who don't know, this is a map building stream in which I build town maps, battle maps, world maps, all sorts of kinds of things for my custom D&D game, homebrew D&D game, that runs on Saturday nights, which you can catch it here on the on stream on Saturday nights. That's unfortunate, Spinner. I hope you managed to catch it though, because I think it's still up in the videos. It is still up in the videos, and it will be exported to YouTube in the next day or so after I finish doing some the thumbnail, basically. Oh, Spinner, I think you're gonna love it. It went so much better than expected. Yeah, it went so much better than expected. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I always get very nervous launching a game for the first time, and doing it on a stage. Oh, thank you. I really hope you enjoy it. Which means I can't really... I don't know if I should talk about it too much, because I want you to get the full experience. The full experience of the group and their shenanigans and what they decide to do. Yeah, guess what? It's okay. Well, I did not expect... So, for those who... Like I said, for those who don't know, I stream a D&D game here now on Saturdays. Called State of Anarchy. We had session 1 on Saturday night. Session 1, Granny's Gone Wild, is the name of the session. Because I and the group do tend to name our sessions after the session, obviously. So we have a bit of context with what we've actually created, what we have inflicted upon the world, in which our group found themselves on a ferry where they all managed to meet each other. They were heading to the town of Corkwood, which is a town map that we built a couple streams ago now. And this is how they met each other, being ensconced on a ferry with each other for at this point, about a day and a half. And they have managed to meet the other passengers. They have met the raging grannies, the raging or raving grannies. I think I called them both. But they met the raving grannies, who are the 6-time national bingo champions. They did learn of some criminal enterprising by these very, very astute old ladies. They also met the crew. They spent a lot of time talking to the quartermaster, Henry Gruber, and also, yes, the bingo, Henry Gruber. They also talked to the chefs. They did meet the kitchen hand, Lily Floor, as well as just one of the other chefs, Tot. He was a lotto, which is an axolotl individual, species. And he was very insistent on having some time off, and so he cut off his own tail, which was given to one of the player characters, who I believe ate it at some point. So all of that happened, and where we left off, the large stone travelling companion of Hasarook, known as Ash, had just alerted them to the fact that the ship, there was a large cloud of something descending upon the ship. And when they went out, our wonderful Eladrin tiefling, Breeze Lemary, managed to identify that these were a large swarm of sturges that were about to descend upon the ship. So when we start next session, door salespeople, when we start next session, we'll actually be starting with combat. So, and we will see if I TPK the party with vampire cave rats. I can say Evil One did give me the idea of making it sturges, and gave me a little help on how I should run the encounter, because I wanted to make sure that, it was going to be fun. TPK. Well, I'm hoping not, because I would love everyone to get to know the characters a little bit better first. Hate it when they descend on a ship, yeah. Evil One, you were a mod on the stream. So, who was your favourite character so far to meet? I mean, you've heard a lot about the characters and all that kind of stuff, so just to put you on the spot, of course, because I know how much you love that. So they met the Raven Grannies, which their names, there's more than 3 of them, but they mostly spoke to the 3 of them. There is Phyllis, Gladys, and Iris. Gladys is a bearkin, a koala bearkin. Iris is a white ibis aarakocra. And Phyllis was a gnome. So had a lot of great time. No? Okay, fine, Evil One. Did you have a favourite moment? What was your favourite situation to see arise, I guess? Because you know how much I love putting you on the spot, so... Also tonight, we are back because the school terms have gone back and we have all descended back into our regular work schedules. We have Power Rangers tonight over on Evil One's channel. If you would like to catch me over there, I play The Blue Ranger, Kyla Moreno. And it has been theorized, it has been teased that we may get our Zords tonight. So I'm very excited for that.
Two souls colliding. We shared the pieces of ourselves. It's perfect timing now. We fueled the flames, but we're still learning to trust, learning to trust. It's never enough, never enough. Burning me up, burning me up. Don't fight the
I don't think we're going to get an answer, Spinner, out of Evil One over who their favourite character was. They don't like picking favourites, which is a good way to be. And I don't think that, I don't know, maybe no one stood out enough yet. There were some definite crazy shenanigans that went on though. Our intrepid detective, Rick Rake, seems incredibly suspicious of Professor Bow Smells, the tabaxi, in the group. It could be because Rick Rake is a detective, and the first indication he actually had of Professor Smells was him running towards the ferry with the words "Stop Thief" being shouted. You know, nothing bad can come of that, right? There was an inordinate amount of dino chicken nuggies consumed too.
sparks igniting. We left some space for us to breathe. My head is quiet now. I can rest in peace, 'cause you are more than enough, more than enough. Feeling the rush, feeling the rush. Burning in love, burning in love. Two souls united. This roaring blaze is soaring free. If you ever get tired of love, I'll sing you gently to sleep, 'cause you're still more than enough, more than enough. Feeling the rush, feeling the rush. Burning in love, burning in love. I won't fall when I'm picking you up. Of my hand, I won't be strong enough. Our love is stronger, and I'll be here. My lead, now we're taking the jump. My pride, 'cause I know you're the one. Our love is stronger. Baby, I know that it's stronger than yesterday.
Yes, we had a bit of a false start as well, though. I think that happens a lot with every streamed campaign. The music didn't want to work. We had to get. I needed some time to get everything up and running a little bit, but I think we got there in the end. I think it all turned out okay. We got the intro credits to roll eventually. We got. Yeah, we got it up and running in the end. Yeah, we got it to work. But yes, so this is the week that will be all of the D&D campaign. Well, not just D&D campaigns. It's also the tabletop games that we play over on Evil One's channel. We have Power Rangers this evening. On Wednesday night we have Grung Gang, and on Sunday nights we have Star Wars. Star Wars though is a weekly game, so, and we are fumbling our way through that, trying to figure out how to make combat work and things like this, because I believe that's the Fantasy Flights system. Power Rangers is by Essence 20, and of course Grung Gang, being Grung is run in the Dungeons and Dragons system. So it has been very interesting getting to learn all different new systems and getting to just try something that we wouldn't necessarily try before.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move.
So we have been working on Feyawyr Cross now for, I think this is number 3. And we'll see how we go. We might get this complete today. Maybe. The thing that ended up taking me so long is obviously the filling in all the buildings here and whatnot, first of all. Yeah, filling in all these buildings and whatnot, but also another thing that kind of takes me a little bit of time with all of this is I just try. I might have a thing with doing maybe just a touch too much detail. Maybe. I get a little bit pedantic about it.
From the heat wave stole my emotions. I left my doubts when I was swept by the ocean, and every pulse from the tide was a finish line. A wave race we were made to ride. You and I were first in line, and we took them by surprise. I was with you all the time. You may not realize, but I'm here. I hear your love declare when we get lost in love.
And Feyawyr Cross is in the Sweet Hills, and as probably figured out by the sheer level of candy colouring, it is indeed a place where a lot of the things in this area are pretty much edible, from the chocolate road to the gingerbread houses. We've got a lot of that going on here. In this part of the Feywild, a huge predominating part of the population are known as the Sweetlings. They there are a couple of different kinds of sweetlings. There are the ice cream styled sweetlings and also the gummy bear styled sweetlings, which were at least the playable species to go with. But there are others as well. Because yeah, I just wanted to put I've kind of wanted to do some candy like species before. I've just been really inspired by Enid Blyton's book The Land of Goodies from the Magic Faraway Tree. Was a really big inspiration behind this. So yes. And, you know, I just wanted to bring an element of that to the campaign, basically. Please forgive me, I still do have a little bit of my cold. Unfortunately, this cold did mean that we actually had to launch a week later than I had anticipated. I'm hoping that to everyone who has watched the stream of the State of Anarchy post live, thank you so much. It is really, really encouraging to us that so many of you turned out to watch us just mess around and really get to know and enjoy our characters and actually just be a part of it. We really value you guys as the followers of the stream and as watching it. So it really actually means a lot that so many people gave it a go just to have a look in and see what we were all about, basically. But also to everybody who watched it since it had gone live, I hope that you enjoyed what you actually saw and you would like to, if you can, join us for when we go live, or if you can't, I hope you find some enjoyment in it enough to be invested to continue watching going forward. Because we hopefully hope, well, I hope at least my players have told me so far that they enjoyed what happened and they loved the grannies. I don't know why I expected what I expected, but I didn't expect the grannies to be so popular. With their little criminal enterprises, little old ladies who are just, living their best lives.
Close your eyes.
I'm excited to see how some of those storylines are already going to manifest, because I know that at least one storyline, I know one player is already like, after hearing a name, at least meta-wise, they're like, why have you done this already? It was session 1. And to Valkor, I say no rest for the wicked. Yes, I've already dropped Valkor's character right in it. Not that he knows it yet. Well, Valkor clearly knows it, but Rick does not. So I look forward to bringing that plotline into manifestation.
Close your eyes.
But yeah, so I'm excited tonight for Power Rangers and seeing where that's going to go. Because yeah, I believe Evil One said that we are most likely, well, providing everything goes well, going to manifest our Zords tonight. And it's been a hot minute with the frogs as well, the Grung Gang. So I actually don't remember where we were up to with Grung Gang. maybe you could jog my memory. I know we'd gone and seen... Now, if I get... I know that I'm going to get this wrong because you got it wrong. It was Black Cloak that we went and saw. So I can't remember. Either way, we went and saw one of the wizards. Black Cloak or Blackstaff. I think it was supposed to be. Blackstaff because Black Cloak is the crazy one, right? Back. Yes, Black Cloak or... I think it was Blackstaff. It was supposed to be Blackstaff, wasn't it? That we were going to go see in the Grung Gang. I have just been talking about where we're at with the Grung Gang because I can't remember. Yeah, it was supposed to be Blackstaff, but you said Black Cloak, who is the actual crazy one, right? Yes, that's what I thought. Which I believe you will amend retcon on. Yeah. And I believe we're getting our Zords tonight in Power Rangers, correct? Up to all of you. Well, I wholeheartedly believe that we're about to get in trouble with the military. Oh, thanks, El Sarge, for the subscribe. We love that. Thank you for being here. And welcome to the, I suppose, the... See, we don't have a community name yet, because, I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers. So I kind of didn't want to name the community for you guys because as the community, you guys should decide. I mean, the idea had been floated to call you ghosties, spooks. But yeah, I don't actually have a name for the community yet. Might have to be something that we brainstorm. And I hope you are having a wonderful Monday morning, Sunday night, wherever you are in the world. Could be Monday afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, or Sarge. So thank you. But yeah, we don't have a... You don't know what us crackheads will do. This is true. I feel like some people are have significantly more of that crackhead energy. So I do apologize. But I know that you as the DM are intensely struggling with just dealing with a group of very, very argumentative teenagers. Hey, look, if we TPK the party, it will most likely be our own fault. Let's be honest. We know that. But I believe you said that Uzo Mecha was telling you to stop rereading the rule book, because the more we reread it, the more we understand it and realize that some of the stuff we've built for the characters is wrong. Some characters are actually being significantly watered back. And yes, on Saturday night, just that. The fact of it wouldn't be a stream if something didn't go wrong the moment it started. So yeah, there was a little bit of a false start on Saturday, but for everyone who caught it, I really, really hope that you guys actually enjoyed it. After hearing so much about the world and everything, I hope the actual start of the campaign met your expectations, I guess. Because honestly, I don't know what you were thinking the game would be like and things like that. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it exceeded your expectations. We had Evil One there in spirit as one of our wonderful mods, because this is one campaign of mine that he decided to bow out of. Because, to put in his words, he has already, over the last 6 years, Evil One has been a wonderful contributor to the world, as several of his previous characters are actually NPCs within the world, as are Valkor's, Tide Runner, Tyrant Dungeon, and Rosewood. All of their characters have had, previous characters should I say, have had impact in the 60,000 year history of the world of Avani, which is the actual world, name of the world setting that it's set in. So yeah, Evil One decided that this time around they just did not have the time with all of the campaigns and stuff they're running, and so they gracefully decided to watch this one from the sidelines. So incidentally, there's a lot, despite the fact of knowing a lot about the world lore and things like this, there's a lot about the campaign that Evil One doesn't know this time around. At least for this particular setting, this time frame. Just because, yeah, they're getting to learn and watch it along with the rest of you. So for me, I'm actually really excited that they're getting to see where this is all going to go along with the rest of you. For those of you who did catch it, did you enjoy it? What did you like? What were your favourite moments, parts, things that kind of jumped out at you as interesting mysteries and things like this? I'm always interested in getting feedback from people. Because obviously, actually getting to enjoy it and being part of it and getting to see it all unfold. This is why I DM. I actually enjoy sharing my world with people and actually getting to see what the players will actually create within it.
Time where you just disconnect from the scene, just the race. And it's a race that I've created in my head, but you have to step away from it.
So yes, I do always like asking, because I actually like a lot of feedback, because this is the thing as well. By having the stream here, obviously I'm not going to tell you all the secrets, otherwise what's the point in actually tuning in? But it is interesting getting advice. Because obviously one of the big things that happens is a lot of the people that I would turn to talk about D&D and things like this are actually in my game. So I can't actually ask them for the advice on what they think of certain scenarios, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. And I don't want to spoil it for you guys either. But I am one of those people that I didn't actually get into D&D until a little bit later in my life. And so I don't actually have a large community of people that I can turn to that aren't actually involved with one of the games I run or anything like this. So at the moment I'm actually running 2 campaigns within this actual world setting. However, they are like 50,000 years apart, because one thing that I always said very, very early on when I was going to run campaigns and run them in this constantly ever-changing, flowing world was the fact of it didn't matter which party was going to be playing in it. I wanted them to feel like their choices had meaning, and while there might be some things that do trickle down, inherently all the choices that are made by the characters in that campaign are going to inherently be their own. They're not going to be made for them. So I try to keep the time frames relatively separate so that they can do that. So my Tuesday group, which is called the Path of the Ascendants, is, like I said, 50, 60,000 years in the past, in a completely different technological age. It's a bit more of your traditional D&D setting, so very, very much sword and sorcery, feudalistic style fighting and things like this. However, the things that come with that is they have their own problems to deal with. They are in a time before there was a time of a dark age, roughly 40,000 years after their event. There was a dark age that did occur because of the meddlings of an alchemist who ended up tearing a hole in the fabric of death, basically. And he released a whole heap of spirit entities. But not only that, he also, in doing so, he ended up disrupting the flow of what the death and dream gods were doing, because they are inherently very obviously tied to death and memory. And by reaching into death to pluck a soul that had gone over, he basically tore a hole in the fabric of reality to do so. It was a necromantic ritual. It was a lich ritual, I suppose, but not for the purpose of gaining power for himself. Not inherently. He was doing it because he did it because he had just lost his daughter. She was his last remaining relative, and he had already lost his wife to the same disease. And he had spent a large portion of his life trying to find a cure to this disease. He knew his daughter had the disease. And so he spent a large portion of his life trying to figure out a way to make it so that she would get to live a full life. But and so he had worked with another Dracolich, with a Dracolich sorcerer, who turned around and had told him that you cannot make a material, like a physical phylactery. Hi, Rosewood. How are you? Yeah, he had made a physical... Basically, he was trying to make a physical phylactery, i.e. tying his daughter's life force to his own. And his friend that he was working with, this Dracolich, basically told him that it is not possible. It is an abomination. You can't do it. You shouldn't do it. And this is coming from a lich. Vaguely watching the Super Bowl. Oh, go sports team. I am not a sport person. But if you are a sport person, may your team win. The only thing I know about the Super Bowl is they have really mad halftime entertainment. It's your team. Well, I hope they win then and you get a victory. I'm assuming that you have plenty of Super Bowl day snacks. Because I know that that's a real big thing, like Super Bowl parties and having like crazy snacks. Excuse me. As I sneeze, I at least tried to turn away from the mic so I didn't blow anyone's eardrums. Pizza, good choice, good choice. Is it a broccoli pizza? Because I know there are some places that do broccoli pizzas. Onion. Just onion? Because this is the thing, with you being an American, I know that some of our pizza toppings are different. And I know that there are some controversial choices. See, in Australia, we tend to, we have like we call, I don't know what you call your pizza, like what your toppings call your pizzas are. More than one topping costs more. See, we have budget pizzas, like a standard budget range kind of thing, depending on who you go with. But, real standards in Australia are, like standard pizza toppings are like Hawaiian, which is ham, cheese and pineapple. We've got Supreme, which is kind of like everything. Peppers, onion, but you can get a bit bougie and have like baby spinach on it. We also have like barbecue chicken and bacon, meat lovers. They tend to be the standards for us. Ham and cheese is probably the most basic topping, yeah. See, we now do, we start to do really bougie ones that have like pulled pork and sun-dried tomatoes and creme fraiche and things like that. So see, you can choose in Australia. You can have fresh tomato or sun-dried tomato. Tomato. See, we don't really have the deep dish. I know that you guys have a specific type of deep dish pizza, and I can't remember because I know it's city, like state specific too. Like the real deep pan. Oh, see, that's a good choice. Sun-dried tomato, onion, pepperoni. Yeah, deep dish is Chicago. See, we have a different variety of crust. Like, obviously, thin and crispy tends to be one that people pick a lot, which is technically in the Midwest with you. See, at that point, if you're making a pizza that the base is that deep, at what point does it just become like an actual, like, regular pie? And I'm not talking like a pizza pie. I'm talking like an actual, like, meat pie style thing. Yeah, stuffed crust is really hit and miss just because the mozzarella cheese sticks that they use in it is so overprocessed. Yeah, it's basically lasagna. So at what point do you just like, you're like, why did I get pizza? Lasagna or quiche? Well, I know that you, Rosewood, I'm surprised you're getting pizza and not your beloved Chipotle. I'm not even going to speak the blasphemy of questioning whether Chipotle is not a Super Bowl food, because I'm assuming your answer is Chipotle is an every time food. It is. See, I have a feeling, Rosewood, if we had Chipotle over here, you would seriously consider moving. Your love of Chipotle keeps you anchored. I do like the fact that when we were talking about, so in this particular game, I have made a fast food chain named Owlies. Excuse me. Oh. Oh. I apologise for that. Just getting that real... Like I said, I'm still getting over a cold, and just every now and then it just still really sticks in my throat. So I do apologise for that. So I created Owlies, which is essentially owlbears is the name of the chain, or Owlies as it is. They've got an owlbear mascot, obviously. And you and I, Rosewood, were talking about fast foods and things like this. And I turned around and we had talked about the fact of Chipotle. And I'm like, I could make you Chipotle if you came over to Australia. And you turned around and said, it's not about it being good. And I'm like, why would you eat it if it's not good? I know you have a distinct disdain for just like the cheese and bean filling though. I'm brand loyal. That's how they get you. Hey, look, I could understand though if they are. I have at least the opinion that I agree. It doesn't necessarily have to be good. Like it can be middle of the road, as long as it's consistent. As long as it's consistent, that's what actually matters to me more. Because if I'm going to spend money on fast food, I don't care if it's not like the best of the best kind of thing that you can get out there or whatever. To me, what actually matters is I can go somewhere and get a consistent product and I know that I'm going to get that product. Table flip, yeah! Well, because Evil One and I have had debates about this as well, because personally, like, so over here we don't call it Burger King, we actually call it Hungry Jack's. And see, Evil One is a ride or die Hungry Jack's fan, whereas I actually prefer McDonald's if we're going to get like this kind of stuff. Oh, you and I, Evil One, have had big conversations about there are certain things though that we will go that infinitely, like, you go specifically to a place for this one specific item. The burger, yeah, well, that is their slogan, isn't it? The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's, yeah. Personally, I prefer the fries at McDonald's, but at the moment in Australia, Hungry Jack's has actually teamed up with the Jelly Belly jelly beans and done these like Slurpee ice slushy things, and they are really, really good. They've done like a sweet and sour kind of, not like a sweet and sour, but it's like a, I'm trying to think of the word that they use for it. It's like a sour fizz flavor, and it's so good. I could go without the jelly bursty things that they put in it, so I usually do. But yeah, no, I actually just really like the drink. I think it's like a lemon lime flavor, isn't it? So, continuing to put in buildings. We will eventually have this town populated. There's so in Fairy Cross, there's about 3,000 people that live here. So, and there is a wide variety of people. On my wheel generator that I use when I'm habiting the shop owners and things like this, unless it's decided, unless it's decided or voted by you guys. Yeah, unless it's decided or voted by you guys. I actually put it into a wheel generator and actually randomly generate who is going to be the shop owner of a place. It is broken down into regionality because there are some races and species that you won't find in certain parts of the world. So, for example, like the I believe they're called the Auk Aarakocra. They are the penguin Aarakocra. There are a small race of them that you can find in, like a small sub race that you can find in the summer courts, but most of them you only find in the winter courts. And the reason for that is because we do actually have penguins in Australia. They are fairy penguins, and they live down at the beaches and they make tunnels and burrows. So yeah. So I wanted that kind of representation there. Because, yeah, fairy penguins are cool, man. And this is what I mean, though, like, I know that we've talked before about there being, like, I think it was 142 races and species and sub-races. How much am I going to be on? How much longer? Probably another hour. I usually do the map build streams for usually about 2 hours. So, just give me a sec. I'm just going to quickly go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Yeah, take a chance to get a drink, all that kind of stuff.
winter's here, the snow is falling on our car as we drive for miles to that little town called home. Tinsel hangs from every corner of the house, and Christmas lights shine bright through the cold evening fog. And I hear sleigh bells bouncing off the halls as the church choir sings along. I feel my heart melt when you walk through those doors for Christmas. You're all I wanted was you.
All right, we are back. I hope everyone is doing okay. This is your reminder, by the way. I don't know where you are in the world, but for me, it is 12:15 in the afternoon, which would make it 1 o'clock for if you are in New South Wales or Victoria. 12:45 if you're in Queensland. And yes, I'm in South Australia, so we're a weird half measure time. So wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are drinking water, having something to eat, this kind of thing, getting a snack. I hope you are enjoying the Super Bowl if you are in America. I don't know who is playing. I could ask Drop Bear. He may know. He is a sports person. Sorry? Yeah, Super Bowl's on. Sorry, I was just telling Drop Bear that the Super Bowl was on, and so now he's turning it on. Because yes, he is a sports person. He is into the AFL football scene too, which, you know, that can get very controversial, so I won't tell which team he supports because that can be very divisive apparently. But yeah, no, I don't have a favorite sports team and things like this. I mean, I say that, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for the Melbourne Mustangs. Kansas versus Philadelphia. Well, that would make sense that it's Rosewood's team being Missouri and all that kind of stuff. But yes, I have a bit of a soft spot for the Melbourne Mustangs ice hockey team because my cousins used to play or do still continue to play for them. Thank you for letting me know that, Evil One. Yes. Yes, Drop Bear is turning that on, I believe, to now watch it. So... But yes, I'm not an avid follower of like even ice hockey, not really. But I do occasionally, I do enjoy watching it, but I am very aware that the Australian ice hockey and Canadian and American ice hockey is very differently played with their rulings and whatnot. Sydney Ice Dogs. No, Melbourne Mustangs all the way. I don't even support the Adelaide team purely because my cousins are awesome hockey players. I think they're the best. Not that they ever watch this. I know that they don't watch my stream, but you know, the Stringer boys, they are, in my opinion, they will always be the best hockey players because they are my wonderful cousins. But yes, I am very aware that none of my cousins are watching my stream. Although, if I ever find out one day that they have, I will be over the moon. So hello, if to Matt, Katie, and Corey, if they ever do decide to watch my stream. So I hope that there are those of you who have managed to catch the game on Saturday night. Or if you haven't, we do play the State of Anarchy now, going forward, now that we've actually started. We will be playing that every Saturday night, with obviously the exceptions of if I do run with the rule that if 3 or more players are missing, usually it's 2. If I'm missing 2 out of the 6, I do decide that I'm not going to run because I don't want to run with half the party or less. If a player is ever unable to play for whatever reason, and those reasons can actually include, I do actually make the caveat that those reasons can be literally if they have had a really bad day or they're just not doing well mentally, just turning around and saying, hey, I'm really not feeling tonight, I won't be there. That is a perfectly valid reason. Because at the end of the day, the way that I view this is it is just a game. It is not worth your mental and physical well-being. If you are not well enough to play or if you are not well enough to go to work, you know, life stuff, a game, this is a game. It's not that much of a priority that you have to show up if you are really not feeling well enough to play. Because I'm the big... excuse me. Yeah, because I'm a big believer in the fact that today more than ever, our free time and our downtime and how we choose to spend it is very valuable. And therefore, if you are ever feeling like, and this is a sentiment that I have echoed a lot actually, since I really came back to streaming full time, if you are ever feeling like you are forcing yourself to go to a game and you are dreading being at a game, that, you know, a hobby that you spend time on because it's fun and you want to have fun, but if you are absolutely dreading it showing up to every session, no D&D is better than bad D&D. And when I say bad D&D, those of you who have been here for a while would know that I have very loose terms on what I don't term as bad D&D, i.e. I don't put bad D&D down to just the player and table incompatibility. I'm just using that as a very loose term. Because it is A-okay to turn around and walk away from a D&D table if you just don't enjoy being there. You know, that's not saying you're a bad player or they're a bad DM or anything like this. It is literally just saying that your playstyle and their playstyle and the way that they run things is most likely very incompatible. And that's okay. Not every table is for every player. But yes, you should never force yourself to be at a table that you just don't feel like you're enjoying yourself. You know, this is a hobby. It's supposed to be something you're doing for fun in your free time to unwind. It shouldn't feel like a chore. And I say this as a DM. You know, I have had my fair share of disagreements with players. And there are times, as much as it would have crushed me at the time, in retrospect, there are whole tables, if in retrospect, going back on it now, knowing how unhappy that they were telling me that they were, I would have, as much as it would have crushed me, losing an entire table of players, I would have much preferred that than the way some of the things, the way that some of my situations have transpired. You know? If you've ever caught me playing the Lost in Random stream on Tuesdays, one thing I say as the person who, like, as the character of Even in that, every time I start a dialogue or a conversation with with one of the NPCs, most of my answers, it doesn't hurt to try and be kind. And I do try to adhere to that. You know? But I'll also turn around and very openly say that I know that I'm not a perfect DM. I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect DM. And, you know, everyone is prone to making mistakes. So, yeah. I feel like now that I've mentioned the Super Bowl, everybody's now watching it. I mean, for those who are kind of just listening in the background and things like this, if you are able to respond, obviously, because that is a big thing. What is your favourite part of campaign planning? If you are a DM, obviously, because that is obviously a DM in question. But even as a player, like, what is your favourite thing to... If you've never DM'd before, what is your favourite thing to interact with? In the campaigns you've played in? Or what have you seen players respond well to? Because, yeah, I'm always open to learning new tips and tricks as well. Because I do find that sometimes I end up struggling a little bit as a DM with sometimes feeling like I'm not engaging the players sometimes. Because I do want to reward player curiosity. This is why I don't inherently, every time a party splits, like they split the party, I don't inherently punish them for splitting the party. It doesn't make sense to me to do that. I actually want to reward people for exploring the world, making choices, making dumb decisions as well. Because, you know, not every decision we make as a player, you only have to watch me play as either Yoben, Hen, or... Kyla, I don't always make smart choices. I mean, I don't think Hen could make a smart choice. She is a low intelligence character. But, you know, I generally like to play intelligent characters, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean every decision you're going to make or the dice is going to let you make intelligent decisions all the time. And I get frustrated too sometimes. I mean, Evil One can probably tell you, you know, I have ended up getting warnings as well for outbursts, and being reminded that, you know, a DM is there of their own accord, spending their free time making a world for you. Getting mad at them when things don't go your way is not exactly fair. It's been a little while since I did that, but yeah, no, that was, you know, I've also done that. I think we've all occasionally let our tempers slip a little bit when things are just like real, like you know the sessions when just everything goes wrong. Yeah, so I have done that too. And I think one of my favorite things actually of late is in the Power Rangers game, actually. And it's not just in the Power Rangers game, it's specifically after and around the Power Rangers game when as the players are talking. The wonderful Uzu Mecha that plays Cade in our Power Rangers game, he plays the Yellow Ranger, and that Steve Man who plays the Black Ranger Ollie, they had never played TTRPGs before, and watching the fact that they have given Power Rangers a go, and the fact that now, you know, they were obviously referred to checking out the Legends of Vox Machina and things like this, and now they really want to try you know, D&D and trying other systems and stuff like this, and actually just, yeah, wanting to give it a go. And for me, it is so fun to watch people discovering this hobby and finding a way that they like playing it as well. Because obviously I know that not everyone's going to play it the same. I tease Tide Runner a lot. It is playful teasing. That I call him, the way that he tends to play, or at least my experience with Tide Runner, is the way he tends to play is, I call him the Boy Scout optimizer, because his characters are always so well prepared for every situation that they're going to encounter. And that's the way that they enjoy to play. And I'm not going to say that sometimes I don't get frustrated as a DM, like in trying to not necessarily counteract that, but as a way to bounce off of that. But particularly with this campaign around, I'm basically just trying to give the players as much free reign with how they build their characters, how they want to play in the world, how they want to enjoy it as I can. Because while I do have some restrictions, like one of the restrictions they had on character building is that the human variant wasn't a choice. Just because canonically within my world it didn't make sense. Because I had given 3 or 4 variations on humans for the world, depending on regionality, where they grew up, depending on if they were from Anthalamia, Feyawyr, or Nethereg. And so that was already taken into consideration of the regionality of the place, because obviously my world lore is specific to my world. It is not Eberron, so it didn't make sense for Eberron specific things to be taken into account for how my world is built. So for example, we do have Warforged in this game, but they're not called Warforged. They're called Clockwork Automatons, and there are subcategories of that as well. Partially because I did want to put a transformer option in, because why not? if you can create your own world and go crazy building stuff like that, why wouldn't you? You know? But yeah, I'm also happy to answer any questions you guys, within reason, obviously, that you guys might actually have about the world. I know that I do tend to talk very liberally about it, and trust me, I know I've been told I can talk my way out of a paper bag underwater. So, but yeah, no. If there is any questions that are very specific that you're interested in about my world, I am happy to answer them. And not only that, because sometimes that actually might even help my world building, because even though I've been building this world for 6 years, that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that everything is absolutely 100% planned out. Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. There are elements to this world that I haven't planned out yet, because I only plan out or, come up with it at the drop of a hat when players interact with it. Because up until that point, it's just creating... I know that some people do that, but, I wanted to get out there in the world, get people playing in my world. And so one of the things I learned really early on with the way that I run my playstyle is only create what people are going to interact with. I think the one thing that I kind of do specifically for myself is the very elaborate tavern menus. I mean, well, if you saw the stream, my players were very surprised that I didn't do a menu for the ferry. Well, I honestly didn't think I would need it. But, it really surprised them that for once I didn't actually create a menu for it. But yeah, no, as you will see going on, because you guys will actually get to see the tavern menus too, as we go on. It's kind of one thing that I do really do for myself, because I really enjoy the food aspect of it, and I actually enjoy designing and planning menus for my games. So even if the players don't really interact with it or go to every tavern in town will have a different menu. And I just really wanted that, because food is such a brilliant way to bring people together. Food is a very visceral experience, both good and bad, just like anything else. So, and a lot of the times we do have a lot of memories and feelings tied to food. And that's one of the reasons why it is such a big part of my worlds, because it is a really fun way for me to show off the culture of a place, and I want that. But also I put a lot of work into researching things as well. So the mythologies of the real world, I look into different industries and businesses, and, because I want to know how certain things work, because knowing my luck, my players will ask me about, one of my players asked me about, he wanted to invest and become an investor. And a shadow investor, so that he could, because they're currently in the Tuesday game, they went back 5 years in the past, so he wanted to become an investor. So even though everyone who has played with me knows how good my math is, I endeavoured to make an effort to look into well, what would he need to do to utilize that? Because I don't want to just hand wave that experience and just go, okay, well, now you get to do this. Like, if you want it, I'm okay to give it to you, but you have, there is a level where I do like my players to have to work for it. If you want something, go for it, and I'm happy to support you in your endeavor of making that happen and play out. So, yeah. So yeah. Now, I do know as well, for anyone who wants a little bit of a world lore kind of simplified world lore dump, I did actually put the opening kind of monologue. I did highlight that and make a clip of that, which you can find in the video section, I believe. If you are interested in kind of hearing about that or hearing about the world lore there. Yes, Rosewood. I did tell Drop Bear that the Super Bowl is on, and he is now watching it. You're so... I get the impression the way you've talked about this is something that you are super salty about. The Kansas City, Missouri thing. And this is a problem, you keep telling me. Yes. Well, you've heard our rivalries over here of just talking to the Australian players. There is definitively, apparently, a best state, but it depends on who you ask to. who you're asking. A Kansan, is that the collective term for people from Kansas? Yeah. Also, these houses are the colour they are, so they look a little bit like cookie and gingerbread. You're not about to be starting fights in my chat, are you? See, in South Australia, we hold the Victorian drivers in same regard. But I think Evil One will attest that it doesn't matter what state you go to, no one can drive. You haven't created it yet. I don't know how good this... You're saying the seeds are there, but I don't know how good those seeds are when the cat of the party literally ate a lot of, like, another person's tail. What I do know you created, Rosewood, is a granny harem. You mean the little old ladies were nice to you? Which you find very unusual that they're being nice to you. If I remember correctly, the character has always... It was weird. Yeah, and then your character was all on board. I thought canonically the character has always kind of had a thing for little old ladies. Not a thing like that kind of thing, but like as in little old ladies always seem to love the character. Yeah, there was a hot second where you did not know where it was going. Yes, there was definitely a big proponent where you did not know where that conversation was going and you're like, I'm not sure if I want to be here. But then you put yourself in the scene with the little old ladies the next morning. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys are going to do first combat of the game next session. I'm really is this going to go the way of the Velociraptors? Why do I see this going the way of the Velociraptors? Why do you say that? There's magic. And there's time. I literally said that magic, when we had session 0, that magic is chaotic, man. Not just like it's unstable. So you don't even necessarily need someone to cast something for that to happen. What do you mean no magic for you? I like the fact that you assume because your character doesn't have magic, that magic just isn't going to affect your character. Hey, technically we didn't. Technically Evil One did that. It may happen. You never know. Although it might be a bit hard to pop a whole town if we're not actually in a town. So there is that. Hey, I have plans for your character. I mean, you know you have a bit of an idea about some of them already because just the names of NPCs that you do know within the world. And after all that searching as well, I did actually find the original Crisis's name. What do you mean, how dare I? There is very much a level of the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch with your character story. You're the one that created the character. I just made it work. What did I do, Rosewood? I love the fact that your character's line throughout all the versions of events has literally been, I'm just a human. When clearly your character, is your character just a human? I love the fact that when this journey started 6 years ago, your character literally thought that they were just a human and nothing that they did would really impact the world. Well, that's clearly not true after everything that's happened, is it? At what point does your character stop just being just a guy? Not right now, anyway. I can say that. Not right now, it's not Crisis's mindset. But then again, I don't think Crisis's mindset is anything beyond not really knowing what the hell is going on in their own life. He's a meme. How so? Just the concept of he's a meme. See, when you say like stuff like that for Crisis, I'm like, how does that go hand in hand with being a nice guy that that gets along with everyone, little old ladies and all this kind of stuff. That level of Terminator mindset is everybody on this boat should be smoked already. The story I have created for Crisis, I'm so happy with. I don't think you're going to expect any of what's coming. And I don't think you're ready for it. I generally never am. Well, I suppose that's good that after 6 years of playing with me, I can still surprise you. Yeah, I'm glad that after 6 years, I can still surprise you. I'm gonna have a fun time going in and filling in all these roads later. Look, right now, if I can get all of the houses placed today, on Wednesday morning when we come back and do... I'm gonna guess most of Wednesday is gonna be just glamorizing this place. So I'm hoping that I can probably... Because it's clear that I have not gotten this finished today. And I'm not going to. I could probably spend a couple more hours, but unfortunately... when I do my morning streams, I am a bit more restricted with having to do my actual job around this. So, and I am in the middle of recording a number of books, actually. I have another book in the Perception series by the wonderful and talented David Parker Ross. I voice the I voice his character, Stacey Grant, and I'm actually recording one for Stacey's sister, Hannah, right now. So if you like that kind of futuristic, spacey sci-fi stuff, give it a check out. It is a really, really interesting series set with space travel. There is a level of just general badassery of a genetically modified marine, Jenna plural, basically taking back her country, but not just her country, because we actually don't hear the book from Jenna's perspective, and I don't know if David's planning on writing a book from Jenna's perspective, but it's kind of the story is told from the perspectives all around Jenna, and so Stacey is an Australian from Wagga Wagga, and she wholeheartedly believes in Jenna plural and basically just getting her home back from the Europeans. There is a level of the Europeans who are actually who have basically taken over the world. America falls, Australia falls, but Jenna and her band of companions managed to muster the forces to essentially take them on. Almost all of the combat scenes are in space. They have conquered that frontier. So yeah, I would recommend if you would like, if that sounds interesting to you, to check out David's series. So, and I mean, obviously it is in ebook and hard copy. If you don't want to hear me talking more, so yeah, definitely check it out. I also do a number of romance novels as well, if you're into romance. I've done some dark mafia books. I've done some sapphic romance. So yeah, if they're your kind of thing, and obviously you are of an age of which you can read those types of books, yeah, they are also good books, but obviously I can't really tell you much about them. Because there is a slight level of smut to those ones. Magnus Twitch, how are you? Thank you for the raid. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for the raid. How are you today? Have you just finished up your own stream? Hi, Natty Sakura, how are you? Welcome back. It is wonderful to have you here. Yeah, no, it is absolutely wonderful to have you here. We've had a bit of a post debrief of the Saturday session. So I will attempt to give you the finest world building that I have to offer, Magnus Twitch. Magonis Twitch, yes. Sorry, I just realized that I was probably pronouncing your name wrong, so I deeply and humbly apologize. Yes, no. Yeah, no, I have got 6 years of world lore that has been building to this crazy time. So the game is called State of Anarchy. I do stream it on Saturday night in Australia, which I believe is Saturday mornings in America and Europe, I think. maybe, depending on where you are. More gore news. Yeah, there are, well, I have various platforms of Totally Not a Thieves Guild. There are the Knaves, who basically work for the Fae Queens and stuff, and they're kind of like the sanctioned but shadow criminal courts kind of thing. So yes, lots of Twitch D&D. Yeah, Magonas, Nerdy Sakura, your wonderful group that you brought with you. If you want to catch more crazy Australian TTRPGs and things like this, I am actually going to be back on Twitch this evening. Not on this channel though. I will be over on the wonderful Evil One's channel. He is a mod for my channel. And we are actually playing Power Rangers this evening. Once a fortnight, we get together with a crazy bunch of Australian players and we play in the Essence 20 Power Ranger system. On Sunday nights, we get together and we play in the Fantasy Flights Star Wars system. And this Wednesday, if you just specifically need that delicious D&D fix, we play an all-grung game. There is no plan, only chaos. Every character in it is a grung, and I really don't think at this point we're going to save the world as the grung. Definitely not. But if you like your pop culture reference and things like this, oh, we love tieflings around here, don't we, Rosewood? Sorry, I need to stop teasing you about that. Rosewood has tieflings and kobolds, Rosewood. Tieflings and kobolds. For some reason, kobolds are the most effective enemy against you. Oh, see, that's cool. Haha, ultimate crossover. It has stuck for half a decade. Because yes, Rosewood has played with me now for 6 years, on and off, obviously, because the Australia to the American time zone is that's rough, buddy. I'm just trying to get these last houses in, because I was actually very close to finishing up for today. Usually my morning streams only go for about 2 hours or so. Whereas I do have a longer map building stream once a fortnight on Wednesday nights. Yes, you did hear a Zuko reference. You'll hear many little references here and there. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I made a reference to Treasure Planet, I think, on Saturday night, which I think was appreciated by some, because that is an underrated movie. Well, apparently that's it. Apparently it is hard to find non-thirsty tiefling art. So, but yeah, no, we have... I did for the... Because we only started... So session 1 was this Saturday just gone. Session 1, the name of the session ended up being... Because we name it after the session. The name of the session ended up being called Granny's Gone Wild. They're on a ferry. They made friends with a group of little old ladies who... These little old ladies are something. They are the 6-time national bingo champions, and yeah, they're ready to help the group take down the sturges that are about to beset the ship. So, see, I have actually over time managed to find non-thirsty tiefling art. It just so happened at the time that that's what all I could find, and it just became a real thing. So But yeah, no. So yes, last Saturday was the first session. So I did actually, for the benefit of anyone who wants the quick primer of the world setting and world lore, very quick primer, cut down to like 4.5 minutes because it's 6 years of world building. Because I've had about 6 campaigns in this world in various times and things like this. And so 6 years of world building, but I did clip that and make it a highlight, which you can see down in my video section. If you are interested in seeing what the game is about, seeing what the world is about, if you'd like to join us on Saturday nights, if obviously you don't have your own game, because everyone is welcome. And it's not like, I will say, when we stream, it's not like if you make a comment in the chat or anything like this, you're going to be ignored because we're streaming a game. No, we do acknowledge our followers. We do respond to the comments in the chat. A lot of the players, while we're playing and stuff, are also in the chat following as mods and players. And so we might not answer every single question, but we do still actually discuss with the players, with the followers and stuff like this, because, you know, we wanted the vibe that it's like we're sitting around a table and, you know, playing a game, and, you know, someone's friend or brother or parent walked through and made a comment or something like that. So, oh, you can definitely lurk. Like I said, I'm actually very close to finishing up for the stream for today, so I just really wanted to get the rest of these houses in, so that when I come and do the stream on thank you for the follow, thank you so much, we love having you here. We are still trying to decide on the name of the community, because we don't have a community name, and I also didn't feel right just deciding for you how I should refer to you guys. So we've some of the ideas floated have been ghosties, spooks, ghosties, spooks, talking about what different tiers of subscribers are called and things like this, trying to figure all that. Spirits, the meadowlarks, that could be an interesting one. That's an interesting one. A lot of people focus on the boo part, so it is very interesting that you went with something else. So meadowlark could work too. Spirits could work, yeah, there's all different kinds of spirits, so I do like that, you know, because, you know, we some days you're just a happy little house ghost, other days you're feeling kind of poltergeisty. I like that too. That's a possibility. But yes, Magonis Twitch, thank you and welcome to the community. It is wonderful to have you here. Usually, you can see my schedule down below when I stream. I'm here most days of the week, let's be honest. If I'm not, I do try to keep people apprised on the Twitters if I'm not going to be here, but sometimes, you know, things just happen and I don't actually get down to being able to inform you, but most of the time you will. I do try to keep everyone informed if I'm not going to be streaming that day. But yeah, I'm here almost every day of the week, so, and you are always welcome to join, always welcome to chat, whether it's about your own games, your own experiences in TTRPGs, not just D&D obviously. We're open to all TTRPGs here, and I'm always interested in hearing about different systems as well, because even though I've been playing and DMing now for 6 years, I actually haven't played in a lot of other systems, which is why I did join Evil One's campaigns in different systems. Just because I thought it was an interesting time to choose and try something else. Just to see what's out there, because playing other games can make your own games better. So, thought I'd give it a go, and here we are. But yeah, you're always welcome to come for a chat, come and lurk. Yeah, I also appreciate the lurk too, because there are some days when, despite the fact that I do talk a lot, I will give you that warning. You know, there are some days when I'm feeling like I just want to kind of chill. I would be open to an idea of once in a while doing one of these streams like just a super low chill vibe, putting on some lo-fi music. I do have some lo-fi music. I did used to stream these too, lo-fi music. So I might do one of those every now and then. If you just want to come and kind of just hang and do your own world building as well. Because it's not, hey, there is nothing wrong with point buy. I do get my players to roll for this, but I can also see the valid point of why some people like point buy. I don't actually have an issue with it. It's just my personal method that I like for my players is to roll for stats. But even then, I have like my own like little rule set of of what they're allowed to kind of do with it. So we roll usually 4d6d2, 4d6d1, which is the standard, but I also put the caveat that they are allowed to roll twice and choose between the two sets of stats. However, both sets of stats have to reach at least a minimum of 72 points. Unless they specifically want to take a character with, like, for example, we have had a couple of players who are absolutely fine taking under the 72 points, but 72 points will give you usually a pretty decent build. So, but yeah, I'm happy to hear about your build. A 6 strength. Yeah, I tend to make a strength my dump stat for a lot of my characters as well. I mean, overall, it's not terrible. Is that just the base stats at the moment? So nothing added to that. That's just base stat. Oh, see, there's the difference. You don't get racial bonuses either. Interesting. See, with this game for State of Anarchy, they do have racial bonuses, but they are already attributed. They're not placed wherever you want, because there are a lot of custom species and subraces in my world. So I actually do like having attributed, like those things are attributed for. So no, I can understand the pain now then. You know what though, even with that, I have seen and played with plenty of characters that have brilliant stats and the dice just say, not today. You don't get to roll good today, or ever. We kind of joked a while ago with one of the people that we used to play with, Evil One and I, that his character had really good stats. His character had really, really good stats. But he rolled more nat ones. He was cursed, man. Well, it depends if you believe in dice luck. That's what it comes down to, I think. I do personally believe in dice luck. So I guess it just comes down to, I do have a theory that if you're rolling on Roll20 though, Roll20 can go either way. But that being said, so I'm just doing the save now. But yeah, so that is the stream for today. Thank you to everybody that showed up. Thank you to Magona's Twitch. and Nerdy Sakura and all of your wonderful group that you brought with you for the raid. It is wonderful having you here. I hope you definitely decide to join me if you are ever free other times that I stream, because obviously I'm not going to assume I know where you live in the world, because that would be weird and creepy. But we will be back on Wednesday morning to continue and hopefully finish the town of Fairy Cross. This is the name of this town. The name of the town is Fairy Cross. It is in the Sweet Hills in the Spring Court in my version of the Feywild, which is known as Feyawyr. And I will be back for that on Wednesday morning for 2 hours. And then I will be back if you actually want to see more of me, hear more of me. I will be over on Evil One's channel playing Power Rangers this evening, if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow to stream some more Lost in Random, which is an Xbox game that I'm playing at the moment, if you want to join me for that. But otherwise, if you want to get in contact with me or just have a chat or anything like this, I have YouTube, I have Twitter. You can find the links down for those down below, or you want to catch up on any of these streams after the fact. And obviously, because Twitch is an evil mistress that deletes streams after a while, unless you're a certain level, of which I am not yet, you can actually catch all of these streams over on my YouTube channel of the same name, Boomeadow, and my Twitter is Boomeadows if you want to leave some comments over there or whatever. And I am usually pretty active on those in terms of I do go at least every day and check to see. So you will usually get a response from me within a day or so. But I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening or night wherever you are in the world. I hope you are drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of rest if you are able, obviously. And just in general, taking care of yourself and your mental health. Because remember, this is a game, this is a hobby, and may all your dice rolls be successful. Roll more nat 20s than nat 1s, and I will see you all later. Bye.